Just curious, is this when a company is giving you the runaround or are they blowing you off? Back in December, I was looking for a job and I went to Peak Employment Solutions in Augusta. And, I told them I was having some mobility issues and, I couldn't do the forklift wrapping the pallets, but they had a job where you could do, I think it was like 13 an hour, and they said it might go to full time. And at the time I was hurting a lot worse than I am now, but I'm still having the issues. And they said, they had a job for 13 an hour and you would scan in old documents, but they didn't say where it was. So finally I was looking again, and so I've been looking on all these jobs, and then I seen them again, and I called, and they said they had a forklift driver. I said, well, I'll try that. But she said, oh, I remember you in December. And she said, well, we got that job again, and it could go full time, so they still hadn't filled this job in 5 months. Or maybe it's such a toxic environment, or maybe the job doesn't exist. So I tried to reach them. Their phones don't work. I can't never get a hold of them. They turn their phones off, and they're supposed to be open, the voicemail says. So I called again today, and I was talking to them. They hung up on me, called me back. And then they said, oh, that job's not going to be filled to the end of summer. So this is a job that was advertised about December, and they're not going to fill it to the end of summer. So I think they just give me the runaround, or telling me, so the job, end of summer. Now, ain't that crazy? So I guess I'm tired of applying for them. I've been looking for a job. I am tired of looking for work. I got my little weekend job, but every little job out there, they want to pay you like $11 an hour, overtime, working 6 days a week. Or they want you to work a 7-day rotation, so you might work the weekends, you might be off during the week. They don't want you to have a life. All these companies want you to work when they want you to work. And I guess everybody gets a weekend off. But I already got a job on the weekend, so I want a job Monday through Friday. And I've been looking at the bus driver. I talked to him yesterday about doing substitute teaching. And with a bachelor's degree as a substitute, it's like about $100 a day. And even if you only work 4 hours, you still get $100. But most days you work more. So the teachers need time off. So you'd fill in. And don't look like it'd be a bad job, just keeping up with the class and following the teacher's lesson plan. A bus driver would pay a little bit more. It's like 15 something. You get about 30 hours, so you'd make like $30 less but you'd be working 5 days. Now, the substitutes, you could have more days off. Now, my wife's real sick, so she fell like last Saturday. Today's Thursday. So she fell, and just going across a bunch of bumps today, she was wheezing, and I got to go in there and rub some stuff on her. And she don't have any broke bones, but she fell. But I don't want to be stressed out. I like the little weekend job. I just do your job. You sit in the break room, they need you, and then you just go do your work, and it's a cool job. You just got to be there. And we've had like, not many people, but we've had 7 people quit because they don't want to work the weekends. Nobody wants to work. So it seems like they'd hire you, but then nobody wants to hire you. And then I was thinking, well, I got all this stuff, but then nobody hire me, and I don't know what it is, or they don't want to pay you nothing. I don't know if it's the age, or, I'd be willing to trim my beard up. And some of these jobs you got to dress up, but school bus driver, you can wear blue jeans, as far as I know. So that might be it. And then I could come home, check on my wife. And right now, I'm not in the process of wanting to buy anything. So I just want to keep what I got level and coast into retirement. Like I'm in the 9th inning, the last hit of the game, and I'm 75% from the third base to the home plate. So I only got about 25% to go. And in life, all this stuff can get in your way, flat tire, or your health, or your spouse, losing your spouse or anything. But I'm at the end where I'm coasting. So I don't want to go in and be treated bad or talked to bad or deal with a bunch of craziness or having to work weird shifts or rotating days and nights. I don't want to do all that. I don't have to. But I want to find something that has benefits because, medicine's expensive. And even I see all these people going to the Philippines. You can buy a health plan over there, but Social Security's not even covered. So you got to have, they said you could live on $600 a month, but probably about $3,000 a month. And I don't even make that now. And I think I'm living here better than I would over there because, you got transportation and you got a lot of stuff that's not all the way up to par, and some of the values are starting to change according to some of the blogs. They said within 20 years, well, 20 years would be what I'd be going over there. It'd be just like here, so might as well just stay, take care of my son, and enjoy the woods. And eventually I might even start like a gaming channel. I have it separate, so I won't drive you guys crazy, but I'll have it separate and then get some video games and try to have a little face here, wherever. You gotta learn all that, and that'd be a separate channel just to goof off on, and might use that to watch TV. I have my little man cave. Was going to use it to work at home, but it's too noisy. You get bothered. Like to have my own business, but I don't want to put a lot of money into things and go in debt. With the economy, wars, and everything. So I just want to chill out and enjoy that last walk to the home plate. Even though I'll be 52, so I got a ways to go, hopefully. And enjoyed my grandbabies and went over there. My daughter gave us some frozen food. They gonna go bad for to eat it, so she's in there in the kitchen and had to be kind of quiet because the youngest grandbaby is asleep. Well, my little grandbaby, he'll be 4 in June, and he couldn't open the door, so he said, "You go home. You go back to Mimi's house," telling me to leave and being kind of mean, and he's supposed to love me. So I just looking at him. I guess he thought I couldn't come in. It was my fault that I wasn't coming in, so he wanted me to leave. But finally, my daughter come and opened the door. Then he gave me about 7 hugs. So you just got to remember that with these kids, the little bitty things, the interaction is their whole world. All they see is what they see at that moment. So they don't, think about mortgages and cars and health and, whether you're going to be able to keep your roof on your head. That's like way later. So they had that knowledge at their age, they'd be stressed out. So why in the world does anybody want to try to tell them they can be other things, unless they want to be when they get older. But, they can't even deal with paying bills. So how they going to deal with that? But people get more crazy. It used to be, parents used to kind of keep an eye on the kids, but we went to get some meat today. And out of the car, before I got out, the car next to me, it was tinted windows you couldn't see. And they had like a little, you could see part of it because they lowered the window about that much. And it had like a Nerf gun. And it looked like they was fixing to shoot at, we was parked beside them. But I parked a little bit wider so I could open my door, and they were just flipping it, in the window. And so my wife made it before they shot anything off, and then I went to the back of their car and around that way so I wouldn't be a target. And they were just dying laughing and acting like a bunch of hyenas or whatever. So, just people this age, they just have no respect for anybody, and it's crazy. So, you got to be careful of that. So if a bus driver, you probably dealing with all kind of little shenanigans like that all the time, like a bunch of Home Alone kids. So hopefully I'll be able to do it. But like I said, I'm at the last stretch. So I'd like to just go to work, maybe 4 or 5 hours a day, just $15. That'd be all I need, plus the little weekend job. And then just chill out. or do something home part-time or work for the government. But then, that's a 40-hour week, but I'd have good benefits and a good retirement, as long as the current status quo is still going. But yeah, man, just thinking about all this stuff, and we'll load all this food we got. And America is kind of expensive, because even if you don't buy, not even your power bills and all today, but my wife's hungry. We went to get her the sirloin tips, and that was like $17. Then we went to the meat place, and I think it was like $40-something there, for 2 sirloin steaks, and then, one of them burnt, so I couldn't eat it. Bag of chips, chocolate milk, McPib, some bologna cut, and then had to go to Dollar General, get some peanuts, butter, bread, and some tinfoil. So it was like $70, and didn't even do anything. Like 5 miles that way, maybe 9 miles that way, so that's 10, 18, and then back there. So I went about 25 miles. I spent $3 a mile just buying stuff. $75. That's a cheap day. It's hard to spend less than that. So America's very expensive. And this is in South Carolina. So it could be really crazy. Somebody on LinkedIn, and they got their face turned to the side. They don't have too much on there. They said they're angel based and all. So they might be legit, but you never know. And then they wanted to start communicating me outside of LinkedIn to make it more. They say, you're not on there that much. So, I'm kind of leery of that. I've been getting a lot of apply for a job, and then I get a text saying, well, we seen you applied for this job on Indeed. You need to send your email to this person. So, if you get something weird like that, the best thing is to look on the internet, see if you see the job, and see if they're hiring on their website. Don't look at Indeed or ZipRecruiter. If they're not hiring on their website, then it's probably not legit, or somebody just trying to get your identity. So it's crazy now. You can't trust anything, and especially when you're at the last leg of the journey. You just gotta chill out, and hopefully everything goes well. And we got a little. Had to show you one time. If anybody cares, leave a comment. We got an extra wheelchair. The front wheels broke, and we're gonna put something in it and act like it's like a little zombie or something in the woods in the wheelchair. So then if anybody ever cuts across a yard, escapes from jail or whatever, they'll be like, you can't see it unless you was in the backyard in the woods, so you shouldn't be out there anyway. So if they see that, they might think, who knows? I think these are crazy people. So that'd be kind of cool to have all that going on. But yeah, I just wanted to share all that. Jobs are crazy, and if you don't have to work for these crazy people, don't do it. But if you got to, I'm sorry. But we gotta get through the end of the zone. So I'm heading to the home run. Whenever I get there, who knows? But y'all, good luck to y'all getting to the home run. And thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Hold on fire.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it'd be bad if I hit the school bus, wouldn't it? But yeah, it looks like a good job. And I was wondering, I asked my wife, I seen the school bus going home at 5 o'clock. I said, why in the world is the school bus out that late? Well, there's such a shortage of school bus drivers, they're having to pick up extra routes, which would be good for the bus drivers still working. But then they get 40 hours. But, we'll see. There's gonna be me. Be driving me a school bus. I don't know. Look at that. Whoop. I gotta learn how not to hit the school bus. Yeah, this was a rotisserie chicken we bought at that little meat place. It looks pretty good. So I gave that to my son. That's where he done started tearing into it. So I figured I'd record that. Yeah, he liked this pretty good. Then, you know, he eats our leftovers of what we don't like, so he gets plenty of food. We could eat out and just give him what we don't want to eat, and he'll have plenty to eat. Let the grill get ready. Got me a snack while I'm watching my wife cook. Yeah, this is what we got from the meat place. They had like a little chicken. I got that with my son. My wife gonna probably take a bite. They had bologna. You cut it, and then we got these sirloin steaks. The ribeye was almost $20 for only like that much. So that would have been about $80. Well, 15 something. You know, it was 15 something a pound. So I got the sirloin instead. My wife is in love with sirloin tips. Fajita fries.
I bet you anything you're going to eat some of them fajita pies too.
Side salad. Tea. Come in.